Welcome and thank you for registering for NACCHO's Management Essentials training. The purpose of this training is to equip you with the information and tools you need to successfully participate in the Management Essentials course. NACCHO will be utilizing a virtual platform known as Adobe Connect to deliver this training and to maximize your learning experience. NACCHO worked with a number of local health department staff and subject matter experts to develop the trainings. We want to take a few moments to recognize our contributors for their work in developing and refining the course materials. You may recognize some of their names and faces. The topics in this series of courses were selected as a result of survey findings from NACCHO's flagship Survive and Thrive program, NACCHO's Forces of Change survey, and other member-related surveys. Each of these identified training needs for local leaders around fiscal management, change management, leadership communication, cultural competency, influencing policy, and creating a culture of quality improvement. Additional courses will be added to the series as continuing gaps and content analysis progresses. Although the target audience for this training is local health officials within 1 to 3 years of experience or 1 to 3 years on the job, and local health officials working primarily in small and medium-sized local health departments, we found that the trainings are valuable and applicable to a much larger audience. Topics in the current series include areas of management and leadership such as financial management, people management, and strategic planning. I'll give you a few minutes to look at some of the content areas that are covered under each of these trainings. You will be receiving participant guides, better known as PGs, which will allow you to follow along with the instructor's slide. The participant guides provide additional information that can be referred back to at a later time. Note that on some of the participant guide slides, there is a place for note-taking. The following is a brief overview of what the participant guides will look like versus the slide presentations that you'll see in class. The one on the left is the presentation slide, and on the right is the participant guide. Notice the bottom slide has PG circled on it. This is the information that will give the participant more insight on this particular topic. We will now look at some of the features that make Adobe Connect an interactive classroom. There are various features in Adobe Connect that you are encouraged to explore. You can raise your hand, send a message in the chat box to the host or to an individual participant. As with all training programs, your participation on a weekly basis is required. This is an interactive virtual classroom environment, not a webinar. The instructors will call on you from time to time, so please be prepared to respond and engage fully. You will break out into small group discussions and provide feedback based on your small work groups. Here are some final pointers. You must complete a pre-assessment prior to taking the course. If you have not completed the pre-assessment, please do so right after this training. Log on to NACCHO University to take the pre-test assessment, and the purpose of this is really not to pass or fail, it's to provide the instructor with an insight of where each of the participants is in terms of their subject matter knowledge. You will receive a certificate of completion. However, you must first complete the post-assessment in order to receive the certificate of completion. You will also receive a brief evaluation survey at the end of the training. We value your feedback and comments. Please take the time to share your feedback and ideas so that we can improve future trainings. And now, we'll just take a few minutes to show a video on some of the interactive features that Adobe Connect offers.
Adobe Connect really allows you to create the most engaging type of experience online for a virtual classroom. It really takes online learning to a new level. Students stay engaged because they're able to participate in interactive training and really communicate with both the instructor and with their fellow students.
This is the Pantone Color Bridge.
You can share video, you can share MP3s, you can share audio. You can even add interactive components that students participate in, whether it's a poll right through to a virtual online game. In government and enterprise alike, training departments are facing reduced budgets for travel, reduced staffing, and they're still expected to train as many, if not more, of the employees as they did before. With Adobe Connect, they can really reach that audience quickly and easily.
We don't have to send service members to training. Rather, we could bring the training to them when and where they need it. And there's a tremendous savings in travel and efficiencies that way.
One of the things we found with budgets being what they are today, travel budgets are decimated. Not only was there a lot of cost, there's a lot of lost productivity during travel times.
Once a presentation has been published, it can actually be leveraged in a variety of curriculums. It can be used in virtual classes, or it can be deployed as a standalone course. It's very easy for a trainer or an instructor to take existing materials such as PowerPoint, to turn them into rich courses using Adobe Presenter, and then deploy that to a large number of students without a lot of setup. It's really important for students to be able to access training from anywhere. The beauty of Adobe Connect is that it works seamlessly across browsers, across mobile devices. You don't have to install anything. They simply attend through a browser.
We see a great potential with the possibility of linking into the meeting rooms through mobile devices. People are always on the run, and it gives them the opportunity to actually join these sessions wherever they are.
What really sets Adobe Connect apart is that when watching a recording of a class, you actually can participate as the students did during the live class. You can still download files that were available. You can click on links that were posted. You can even participate in any of the applications, such as a simulation, even though you're watching a recording. That allows a trainer to be able to leverage the investment made in creating a particular piece of content so they don't have to recreate it every time.
Training is a huge part of Xerox. And now that we have Adobe Connect, we have rapid e-content. We can reach people in Turkey, in Russia, in New York, in China, in Canada. You give them a 5-minute tour at the beginning of a virtual classroom session, and they are now familiar with and able to use Adobe Connect in seconds.
Adobe Connect allows instructors to really keep track of how well their students are doing and to see their success by being able to see an individual and see how well they're doing and how they're progressing through either a course or a curriculum, or by seeing an overall picture or getting a report on how well their class is doing as a whole. It's really important in a virtual classroom to be able to see each other. A lot of organizations have to do government-mandated training. They have to ensure that it's delivered to the right person, that it's tracked. By using Adobe Connect, they have that secure mechanism to ensure that their employees are compliant with these government regulations. It's easy to integrate Adobe Connect into your existing learning management solution. So if you're using a product like Plateau or SumTotal, you can add Adobe Connect as the virtual classroom component. Or you can use Adobe Connect by itself for on-demand content or live virtual classes. Organizations are delivering thousands of classrooms using Adobe Connect every day. They can reach more students in less time. And that's really important to them.
Thank you for attending this orientation. Watch for your participant guide in your inbox. You will receive weekly reminders of the course. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact Nahima Bromley at NACCHO. Her email is nbromley, that is NBROMLEY @nacho.org. Again, log into NACCHO University and take the pre-assessment, and we look forward to your participation. Thank you.